Gilbert Millard became the head coach of Alpine Canada in preparing for the 72 Olympics and invited me for training in France with him before the 72 Olympics. One day he told me we're going to ride the Tour de France day of the Alpe D'Huez Pass, and it's 21 switchbacks. Well, it was exciting to say the least. I want to continue in the same direction that we're talking about attitude this week, and you can either be selfish, insecure, and stagnant, or you can be selfless, secure, and submissive. But can I react that way at every challenge and opportunity? Can you? Yes, you can, but just like you have to prepare the muscle to respond, you have to prepare the mental and emotional part of you to respond the right way. I'm Jungle Jim Hunter, and you're listening to 831 Living Your Best Life podcast, where we inspire participation, communicate precision, empower performers to podium, and you can find us on your favorite podcast provider or go to junglejimhunter.com, or as of this week, you can go to YouTube and listen to it on YouTube as well. Click on subscribe, download, and like, and rate and review us, and become an 831er, someone that wants to make a difference in other people's lives because you're someone that is an 831er and you make a difference in your life. Well, some of you have heard me talk about the emotional link points, or as I like to call them, the emotional switchbacks. When you choose the descending attitude, as is true of choosing negative emotional direction of attitude in any situation, it starts with our senses, and those 5 senses bring about from seeing, hearing, smelling, and tasting, and touching reactions that become emotional link points. These emotional link points become the way we react in the mind first and then express it through the body, and finally as a reaction in thought and word, and maybe even into action in thoughtless and uncontrolled expressions of negative attitude. A coach confronts you and tells you to go easy because he knows what the body is about to go through, and you decide to ignore the warnings. The same way a guy cuts you off in traffic, or your boss reams you out, or your partner confronts you on an issue, and as a result, from the way you have responded since you were born, you have either an ascending or descending attitude direction. Gilbert Millard and I started out riding the bike in the valley and covering the distance that the Tour de France did on that particular day. Then we turned around and came back towards Alpe d'Huez and headed up the 21 switchbacks. As we went around the first switchback, Gilbert was right down in the lowest gear, taking it easy. He wasn't even pushing it. We went around the second switchback, and I looked at him and I said, "Gilbert, is this it?" And then we went around the third one, and it was still as slow as molasses. I finally looked at him and I said, "Gilbert, see ya. See you at the top." I was finally going to beat him. By the way, up to that point, I'd never beaten him on any of these rides. But today I thought, he's just too weak. I'm just going to blow right by him. He said, whoa, slow down. Take it easy. He says, "You don't know what you're facing." I took off anyway. See, you and I have developed a set of emotional link points that become automatic. Let's take a look at the 2 words opportunity and obstacle. The opportunity is a good chance, a favorable occasion, a chance of opening offered by circumstances, good fortune. Obstacle is a person or thing that obstructs progress. I thought Gilbert was obstructing my progress, and this was an opportunity to finally kick his butt. For each of us, when we are challenged, it is an obstacle that blocks our goal. Therefore, from that point, we take things up or down. Each obstacle in our life plan has the ability to become patterns that set emotional link points that become our response mechanism, and we will keep doing the same things until we change our response to those link points. Because change is not easy for us, we soon keep getting what we've always had. If an opportunity comes your way, you must realize that unless you are prepared to handle that opportunity, it will present itself, but if you will not handle it correctly, you will sabotage yourself. I see Gilbert coming. I'm now at the 4th switchback, and I'm running out of gas. But what do? I do what all of us do when our emotions kick in. When your emotional link points are running the show and are driving you and you're driven, you push yourself even faster and harder. And on switchback 4, I put the hammer down. As I hit switchback 1, Gilbert is halfway between 1 and 2. And he is out of the saddle and pushing the pace. I'm dying. I'm bonking. I made it about 200 meters more, and then the next thing I remember is cold water being splashed in my face and him bending over and looking right at me and dripping his sweat on me and says, "Too slow, huh?" He rode on, and I wobbled trying to walk into Alpe D'Huez to the fountain. We ate, we recovered, and talked a lot about the mistake I'd made. I thought a lot about the emotions and how they got me into trouble again. You see, you can prepare and be ready physically, but when the opportunity comes your way and you're ready for it, and then within that situation you continually sabotage yourself by choosing a descending attitude, an emotional response that takes you where you don't want to go, then soon the opportunity will become an obstacle. If you are running into obstacles that hinder progress, they are the new opportunities to grow. So don't become anxious and open yourself to that old emotional link point response, but rather cultivate new responses that keep the progress steadily ascending. So when the next opportunity comes, you can not only do it, but you have already demonstrated emotionally that you are ready to walk into it. My quote for the day: balance emotional link points and unexpected problems move from obstacle to opportunities of growth. Every challenge causes an emotional reaction as your first response. 831ers that live their best life know what will make them react, when they will react, and anticipate how they will respond so they can keep ascending rather than descending and being controlled and beaten by an unarmed enemy that never even throws a punch. If a guy can cut you off in traffic and it causes you to do something, your link point has given a total stranger all the power. Are there other areas of your life where others have all the power even when you think about them? That's not living your best life. Write and tell me what emotional responses you have that are ascending and descending. In other words, what emotional triggers can create a negative response in you? And what do you do to get yourself moving in the opposite direction? How can you change if your tendency is to descend? Well, that's tomorrow's podcast. Thank you for listening. I hope you'll have grown, and we will be living our best life ever the next time we meet.